Hello, everybody. George Lair here with First United Land Transfer, and with me today is Carlos Wejeves. Carlos, it's good to see you, my man.
Thanks for the invite, George.
Oh, man, thanks for being here. So, Carlos and I were actually keep getting questions as, what do you need to actually have a pre-approval or a pre-qualification, or when is the best time to get pre-qualified? And, how does the market slow down because of Christmas? No, it doesn't. This is the best time to get pre-approved, pre-qualified, and no better person to actually tell us a little bit more about that right now than Carlos Wejeves. So Carlos, man, tell me, there's a couple of different steps that a person has to go through for qualification. What are those steps and how easy is it?
So it's a lot easier than people think. People really, are scared of the whole mortgage process. And the main reason that people are scared to take that first step really is credit.
Right, and lack of knowledge too, right?
Lack of knowledge, absolutely, right. Absolutely. So the first thing we do is, we have you come in and sit down with us, and we go through all your finances to figure out what your budget is, because your budget is going to be like your structure. Your budget is everything. If you budget well and you know how much you can afford, then you won't get in trouble.
How many times do people come to you and think that their credit is shot, but end up having like a 600-700 credit score and are able to buy a house?
Oh man, countless times. I mean, I've met with people and they're like, oh, you should start with my sister because her credit is a lot better than mine. And then it turns out, her credit was better than her sister's.
Right.
But people are just, if they don't know, they don't know.
Absolutely. So tell us, what are the steps of actually getting a pre-qualification or pre-approval?
So the first thing a potential buyer wants to do is to sit down with a lender.
Right.
Bring in all their documentation so that they can analyze all their documentation. Take a look at their income, take a look at what's going out, determine what's a sustainable budget, and based on that, then you can determine pretty much the price range based on the location of where they're looking to buy a house.
All right, so what documents do they need to actually bring to get pre-approved?
You would need 2 months of bank statements,
okay.
1 month of pay stubs,
okay.
your last 2 W-2s,
okay.
and your driver's license, your social security. I mean, that's pretty much it to
Perfect.
Get started.
All right, so now you're started. They bring all that information. They actually find out that their credit is actually above a certain threshold that they need to be, and they're ready to start looking for a home. They found a house, so they need to bring you bank statements to make sure that there's sufficient money for the down payment.
Well, they should come in and see us before they start looking for a home. You know what I mean?
Because
you don't want to get your hopes up and then be like, oh, I can't afford this, or be like, oh wow, I could afford a lot more than this and I didn't even know it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you don't want to start looking for a home until you have a pre-approval.
Indeed. And you know what? It makes it easier too, because not all sellers want to leave their house in the middle of the winter to find out that the person who's coming over to look at the house has not had a pre-approval letter, right?
That's correct. A lot of realtors won't even look at an offer if there's not a pre-approval attached to it.
Exactly. So, what kind of benefits are there for first-time home buyers, Carlos?
So there's a lot of down payment assistance programs.
Okay.
So people think that, to buy a house I need $20,000 or $30,000 in the bank, and that's not true.
I mean, it's nice.
It's nice. It's always good. It's going to give you, of course, more favorable terms at the end of the day, but you don't quite need that. You know what I mean? There are programs where you can get into a house with just $1,000 out of pocket.
Right. So sometimes 3.5% down.
Yeah, you get 3.5% down, and then you have some down payment assistance that helps you cover that 3.5% down, and you can get some seller's assist, so they'll cover you 6% of the closing cost. So it really, it's really not as much money as people think they need to buy the house.
So the opportunities are endless, basically.
Oh, absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
So there's no reason why we, as consumers, should actually be out paying rent when we could actually live in our own house and, pay for our own mortgage and start building equity and start having a legacy or leaving a legacy behind for our families, right?
100%.
So, Carlos, anything else that you want to share to anyone that's looking to actually become a homeowner, somebody who's actually wants to get pre-approved right now that is actually almost near to the holidays, and it's no better time to actually celebrate the holidays than to actually be in your new house. Anything you want to add to that?
Absolutely. Take advantage of the rates now, take advantage of the programs that are available now. Now's the time. It's a lot easier than you think.
Well, listen, man, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate all the good advice that you've given the public. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like, share, invite your friends to actually also view and hopefully learn something from this. And please don't hesitate to give either one of us a call. Make sure that as you're out there, that you ask a lot of questions. Questions are always answers are always free, and call a local professional. Carlos, man, thank you so much for being here. It's great
Thank
to
you
see
for
you.
the invite, George.
Of course. Hasta pronto. See you next time.